Some people compare me to Sofia Vergara from Modern Family, but it's not because of my voluptuousness, because I'm hard to understand. But what can I say? We're Colombian. And as a Colombian, we have a tendency to celebrate everything. One of the events we used to celebrate was my parents' anniversary. I remember in Colombia, as a young child, during their anniversary, my dad would serenade my mom. And I thought it was the most wonderful thing, not only because we were allowed to stay up longer than usual, but because I would see my mom's radiant face as my father sang to her. We then moved to New York, where serenades were not practical, because if you imagine my father serenading my mom and being arrested for either disorderly conduct or disturbing the peace, it would not be very cultural. So my parents started having house parties. We were still young, so it was a good way to continue with our culture and our roots. We later moved to Florida because of the weather. And the main event was surrounded, the objective was to have anniversary family portraits. And my job was to gather my siblings. But this was easier said than done, because my brother Nevi would be in some backyard playing soccer, while my brother Tony would be either up on a tree, saving some stranded animal, or behind a bush, analyzing some lizard that has been placed in the stink list. My sister Maggie and Martha would be in front of a mirror somewhere in the house. One would be practicing her dance steps, the greatest dancer ever, and the other one will be retouching her makeup. While my other sister, Anna, my eldest sister, she will be making sure that everything was okay. And my brother, oldest brother, Diego, was missing in action. Did I forget to mention that we come from a large family? So finally, I had everybody gathered together, and I would be the one missing because the humidity and the heat of Florida had turned this hair into a lion's mane. So I would be wetting my hair, and then my older sister would come looking for me, and it's like, we're all waiting for you. And I'll be right there, so I would dry my hair as best as I could, run, pose, while cold water was dripping down my back. This went on year after year until the dynamics of our family changed. My brothers and sisters started getting married, having kids of their own. Others were in school. So we started celebrating 5-year milestones. My job was still to gather, but this time it was my nieces and nephews. But the one thing that never changed was the issue with my hair. This went on for 57 years until my father's death. And now we celebrate the anniversary of his passing. When I always were surrounded with anniversaries that always were counted up. And I turned out different because I was like a bird that fell off a nest. I count anniversaries in reverse. Let me explain that why. When I was 18 or 19, I was sitting in the hood of the car while my brother Neri was at the recruiting station at the Air Force, and I see a man in uniform pass by. And I love men in uniform. So I stare, he stares back, I say hi, he says hi, and 6 months later, I'm in the Army now. I'm all gung-ho, to serve Uncle Sam. My recruiter did a fabulous job. I get to basic training, and I find out I have lost my freedom. I'm government issue. I'm identified by a number, and my hair cannot touch the collar of my uniform. So I say to myself, oh, what have I done? Immediately, I start counting down. There was one incident where I almost ruined it. I was driving an 18-wheeler, me, delivering jet fuel in Germany, in Stuttgart, and I missed my turn. I was listening to AC/DC, thunderstruck, going up now towards the wine country and looking for a place where I could turn an 18-wheeler, and I finally saw one around the school. A roundabout, so I turned my truck, and the wheels of my truck run over 3 or 4 plants, and I'm thunderstruck. Let me tell you why. During orientation in the military, they tell you in Germany that the land is very precious, and if you are to damage, kill any plant or tree, you are responsible for that tree and all its offsprings. Immediately, I come out of the truck and I look and I start 3, 6, 9 more years. So I start CPR. Plants, repotting them, trying to revive them, learn from him, you know. And school lets out. The youngest kids come pointing at me and laughing, Scheiße, Scheiße. And all the kids come out and they say, oh shit, go, go. And I listen, I laugh. I got in my truck, completed my mission, got to the barracks, and I lay low for about 3 or 4 days. No sign of trouble. I started counting more eagerly. 60 days before my departure, they send me to a counselor, a career counselor, and they tell me if I'm going to re-up. And I tell him no. He says you should. We could debate. I said I put in money towards the VEAP, Veterans Education Administration program. I'm going to school. He lets me out, and I am short. For you, those of you that do not know what short means, that means you are 60 days closer to getting discharged. So I started celebrating one-day anniversaries. I would walk around 59, 58, I'm short, till the last day, and I celebrated, and I finally got my discharge. Woo! I'm a gold discharge. It cost a lot. And then I went home, and then I eventually ended up in New York, Hunter College, for the physical therapy program. And I was very enthusiastic to start something new. Very enthusiastic. Every time he does that, it blows my mind. Very enthusiastic to something new. Shortly after, I realized the enormity of workload that I had ahead of me. I was dissecting a cadaver. I was responsible for every naming every part of his body. I stopped eating meat. I prayed for his soul and thanked them. What else? I owed Dr. G a term paper. I couldn't get the formaldehyde smell out of my nostril or my hair. And I had 13 chapters left to read on a book that should have been named or titled, How to Fall Asleep in Less Than 1 Minute, Treatment for Insomnia. I sat on my desk and I said, oh my God, I can't wait till this is done. While my friends were, not next year, we're going to be sophomores and juniors and seniors, I am saying 3, 2, 1, graduate, celebrate, got my diploma, I'm out of here. While all this is going on, I end up in relationships and I eventually get married. I want to have anniversaries. But before long, at first it was all lovey-dovey, but before long I realized now I'm husband issue, I'm branded by a ring around my finger. I have to take care of my hair in the morning, otherwise I scare my ex-husband half to death. And I'm no longer me, I'm missing somebody. before long, I gave me an anniversary present to myself. I got a get out of jail card, AKA a divorce certificate. So all this freedom has led me to become a traveling physical therapist. And I'm now in Tucson on a 4th-month contract. And I celebrate every month, and and along the way, I have fallen in love with this city and the people I have met. And I know that I will shed a tear on my when my countdown hits 0. But as a good Colombian, I will always celebrate.